Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Lexus IS 350 F Sport. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this sporty and luxury sedan for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This IS 350 is finished off in ultra white. MSRP is just under $56,000. Now this is powered by a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 311 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels, propelling this 3,800-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. It has a top speed of 143 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 20 miles per gallon in the city, 28 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 110.2 inches. Its overall length is 185.4. It has a width of 72.4, a height of 56.5, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.5 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this IS 350, the IS 350 has had a similar design for quite some time. I reviewed one recently, and a lot of people are hoping for a change. Maybe the 25-year model will be completely new. But for now, this is the IS 350. I think it has a great look to it, even though it has been out for quite some time. Now with the traditional hourglass design for the grille, the entire surround is finished off in gloss black, as well as the mesh for the grille itself. We have a sensor, forward-facing camera, some parking sensors too. This has a really slim set of headlight housings with that triple beam design, along with that iconic DRL, and then the turn signal is just above that. There's more gloss black in both corners down below, and some really nice lines that run down the hood. So there's two that disappear right into the middle. And then from the middle section of the hourglass design for the grille, it actually goes all the way back up to the base of the windshield there. So it ties it in very nicely for the front of this. And then for the side, this has a very nice set of 19-inch alloy wheels with that multi-spoke design to them. There's the F Sport badge just behind that. The F Sport package also provides this with the adaptive suspension. There's two-tone for these side mirrors, along with the chrome. There's a camera and a turn signal. Sunroof up top, more of that trim surrounding the windows that matches nicely with the wheels. And then there's two distinctive lines running down the side. So there's one in that lower section there for the door, and then the other one goes all the way up almost towards the door handle and the back. But I think it has a nice sporty design to it from the side. And then in back, there's a small trunk-mounted spoiler finished off in gloss black, along with the bar that runs right through the trunk, connecting the LED taillights. There's a backup camera, all the sensors, more gloss black, and then the F Sport dual exhaust is just underneath that. Now, as we work our way to the cargo space, you can use the button on the key fob. There is a button to the right of that backup camera. And for the size of this sedan, it's very roomy and practical. With the back seats up, you have a lot of space where you can place items. There's even some storage underneath along with the spare tire, and you can fold down the back seats. Now you do have to go around to do that. You cannot fold them down from the trunk area. And then there's one grab handle on that right side, making it easy to close. Now as we work our way to the interior, this has a very nice interior matching the white. We have the solid red leather that you'll notice is on the whole lower section with black leather up top. There's a window control, speaker, the release handle, no storage in the door though, which is surprising to see. But then we have more of that red leather working its way into the back. Now at 5'10", I actually have a good bit of space. So I have the front seat a little bit farther back, but I still have plenty of room. There's storage pockets behind both front seats, and then you have some climates right in the middle. Now at my height, I am just barely touching the headliner here, and the seats do not recline. So it is a little bit on the smaller end, but I could ride around, be comfortable, maybe kind of slouch down a little bit to get my head back, but it's nice. It is functional for adults to be in the back, even with its smaller size. Now there's the armrest in the middle, and then there are two cup holders that you can poke out from there. And then this is the visibility that you have from the back seats. It is pretty open feeling, again, for its size. And then taking a look at the front door panel, pretty simple, same design as you saw in the back. However, there is storage down below. There's memory seating controls, and then your window and side mirror adjustments. F Sport is also down on the door sill, And then we have a little bit more lateral support to these front seats with all of the automatic adjustments. And then we are greeted with a solid and perforated leather steering wheel with the fsport badge and red stitching. On this right side, there's a few controls that we can use for the screen up top, as well as your lane keeping and your distance pacing. There's cruise control. Left side is going to give you volume and tuning along with mode, and then a few more Bluetooth controls. And this even has the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. But let's fire it up and take a listen to this IS 350. And coming back to the gauge cluster now, you'll notice on the far left is the engine temperature, right side is fuel level, and then right in the middle, we have some info we can go through using those buttons on the right side of the steering wheel. So we can scroll through all this information, just depending on what you'd like to see. And then if I push on the Pages button, it will shift the entire tack to the right side, where now we have a lot more information that we can go through. Take a look at all of the standard safety features that are available for this, that you can turn on and off. You have a lot that you can scroll through, and then you can also go through some MPG like we just saw. However, there's a few other settings like G-force meter that will appear with this larger screen. You can pull up the compass, get into your music, even look at cruise control and lane keeping assist. There's messages, and then we are back to the settings. And when you want to minimize those and look at the tack front and center, you can scroll through a little bit of info. So it's nice. It's not a whole lot of info, but it is great to have right in front. Now on this left side, there's the trunk release. There's also a shade control for the rear. So you can put that up and put it back down as needed. There's also a view button. What this does is pull up this diagram for the 360 camera. And you can actually change how you would like to view that. So now we have more of a top-down 360 view, just to make sure there's nothing around you when you are pulling out from where you are. If you push on that again, it just shuts it off. There's also the automatic headlights, and then some dimmer switches and the odometer reset. And then as we work our way back to this infotainment system, this is a touchscreen system, or you can use the controls down below. So there's map, menu, a back button. We have these arrows right here that you can use, as well as the trackpad itself. This is basically like using a mouse on a laptop. So right now we are on the navigation. If I push on the lower right, you can actually bring this up as a split screen view. And then if I use my finger, you'll notice that we have the orange there jumping around. That is my finger going through the different settings. So as I swipe down and click on the pad, this is how you can enter some of that information. Now if we make that go away and push on menu, that brings up all this information in the lower section. So we have audio, phone, there's apps that you can go into and download as needed. And then if we hit back, go back to menu, projection is how you can pair your phone to the system. We have setup and climate adjustments too. So that way you can quickly go through all of those as needed. And then obviously you can use that as the touchscreen system. Pretty easy to use once you get used to this. Again, not a whole lot of info, but it gives you everything that you do need. Now there's two air vents with a clock right in the middle. We have all the physical buttons for your climates down below, so you don't have to use that system. With the dials on both sides to adjust the temperature, there's recircs, heated side mirrors, and then we also have the hazards right in the middle. And then underneath that, for this 24-year model, we still have a CD player. There's power and volume tuning and a few other controls for that CD underneath that. A lot of people comment on previous Lexus videos that I have made about this having a CD player. People still use it. There must still be a demand from Lexus for people to listen to their CDs. So that is still incorporated in this model. Underneath that, there's the heated and ventilated seat controls, heated steering wheel, and then the driver controls too. Now, as we take a look at the shifter, we put it into reverse. There's the backup camera with the top-down view, and then you can even change those guidelines slightly if you need to. Drive is all the way to the back, and then you can shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters themselves. Now on this right side, we have a few different driving modes. It will change the tack slightly. So there's Sport S and Sport S Plus. There's also normal, and then there's an eco setting too. So just depending on how you want to drive, you will notice that pops up too on the infotainment system. There's a snow mode, traction control, the auto hold, 2 cup holders, and then in the center armrest, you have some auxiliaries with a good amount of space behind it. And then the glove box also has a decent amount of space. Now up top, there's your rear view mirror with your garage door buttons, touch sensitive dome lights, and then controls for the sunroof. The sunshade is manual, so that is easy to adjust. And then a look at visibility, small pillars in the back, so it's easy to see over both shoulders. As we set off now behind the wheel for the IS 350, this is the second one that I'm driving in a month. So I recently reviewed another one where it got a lot of comments about what should happen with the IS 350. So let's talk briefly about the car itself, and then we will get into some of those questions and concerns. So the IS 350 is a little bit more of a sporty sedan from Lexus, a little bit more upscale, a little bit more luxurious. With the F-Sport package, you get that adaptive suspension, so it provides us with a very nice and smooth ride. So of course that's going to adapt to the road and just give you a nice, comfortable feel. Very nice to drive to. Steering is pretty solid. It's also very quiet and what you'd expect from a Lexus. Now it's also going to be something that is going to provide you with a lot of reliability. We have that dinosaur engine, the 3.5 liter NA V6, that are proven to go well into over 100,000 miles. So if you're looking for a luxury brand, but you want something that not only is going to be easy to maintain, but is going to last you quite a while, this is a great platform to go with. Now on the downside of that, some questions and concerns that I saw from the previous video that I made. It is an old engine. It's something that's been around for a while. It would be nice to see some more power out of this car. This is the F-Sport. The F-Sport should have a little bit more of an increase over a standard 350. So honestly, the only differences with this is we have the suspension, we have the wheels, we have the seats here. It's not really anything performance oriented for that F-Sport package. So maybe they can put in some kind of twin turbo hybrid or some kind of hybrid system for the next year model to give it an increase in power and still retain Toyota and Lexus's reliability. So that was one comment that I saw a lot about. The other comment was just the looks of the IS 350 in general. Like I mentioned earlier, this has been around for quite some time with this design. Now, of course, over the years, it's been slightly tweaked, and you know, there's been different cosmetics and things like that, but there's been no major overhaul or refresh for the 350 in quite some time. Maybe a 25-year model will be completely different, new exterior, new interior, new tech, maybe a new engine, new drivetrain. Maybe a 25 will be the next one. Like I said, Toyota, Lexus usually go 10 years, so 25 roughly should hopefully be a new update for this car. Now, is that good or bad? A lot of people like how this sits as it is. A lot of people are looking for that next level. So it's kind of a 50-50, I think. If you want one now, we don't know what the next one will be. So you kind of either get it and hope there's one and get it later, or you just wait and see what happens. So it's a really cool vehicle. I do like it. However, I would like to see an update. I would like to see more power, especially for the F-Sport model. So if we put it into Sport S Plus and we downshift to third gear, it's definitely got a healthy get up and go to it. I wouldn't say it's quick though, but it's got that healthy power to it. But I could see the need for even more power. And let's do that again here. It sounds good too. I do like how that V6 sounds. Paddles are also very responsive too. So I like to see that. I like the performance that it does have to it without going overboard. It's not really that much of a performance style vehicle, even with the F-Sport package, but it handles well. It's something you can take on some back roads and have a little bit of sporty driving with. And from second gear, here we go. And it definitely gets up and moves. With a mild acceleration like that, I am impressed. It definitely has a lot more potential than what I am doing today. But shifts are very quick, especially in Sport S Plus there. And then if we dial it into Eco now, let's see if there's any differences with the throttle input. Oh yeah, I can already tell I'm at just over 50%. and it didn't climb quite as quickly as Sport S Plus. So it's nice to see there are benefits with that. If you want to save on some MPG or just cruising on the highway, you can put it into Eco, and then when you're ready for more power, just twist on that dial. But behind the wheel now for this $56,000 Lexus, honestly, I think that's a pretty good price for what you are getting with what is available. Tight turning too, so it's an easy car to maneuver in parking lot situations, things like that. But for the mid $50,000 range, you're basically almost at that entry level for a luxury vehicle with what we have, not an abundance of technology, but you get that luxury vibe and feel. However, you also get that reliability, the ease of maintenance, things like that. Kind of a 2-for-1 for this model. And I think it's really nice. It will be interesting to see if Toyota and Lexus decide to come out with something new for this. They are putting some hybrid and hybrid assistance in some of their newer models, so maybe it will trickle down into this and we'll get something completely new. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Lexus IS 350 F Sport. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.